Hi, welcome back to Daily Conversations. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yep, and today is November the 4th, and the time now is 20 minutes past 6 a.m. Okay, today is a bi-weekly review, and the topic that I want to discuss is about negative interest rate and also a little bit of the topic inflation. Yep,
Mm,
so before I start, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
mm,
Okay, so here we go.
yeah.
Yep, and yeah, when talk about interest rate, and yeah, I found that the interest rate in my country, in our country, Malaysia's, uh, is quite low,
Mm,
and for now it's only 1.75%,
mm,
and it seems like this is the lowest interest rate in our country uh,
mm,
historically.
mm,
Yep. And then yeah, so I'm just curious why they want to keep the interest rate low. Um, and then I also found that uh, during this pandemic and basically from March of this year,
mm,
March 2020, and then our inflation actually turns into deflation.
mm.
Yep. So is there um, a direct impact of this? I mean, the rate of the low interest rate um, um, is used to cope with this deflation. Am I correct?
What do you mean? Direct effect of the low interest rate policy or direct impact of pandemic.
Um, yeah, direct effect of uh, the pandemic.
Oh, so it means the deflation. Mm, uh, One of the direct impact of pandemic is deflation. Do you mean that?
Ah, yep. And then
Yeah,
government lower down the interest rate. Why they do so? Is it because they want to uh, cope with this deflation?
yeah, sure. It's true.
Oh, wow. Then yeah. So what happened if we really go into a deflation? Because now if we look into short term, we are already in a deflation.
Hmm.
Yep.
Do you know why inflation happened?
Sorry, inflation.
Why? Yeah, why inflation happened?
Inflation. Inflation is that um, business is doing well and people can borrow money and uh, buy the things on the market.
No.
Oh,
Mm, inflation. Yeah, inflation. You have to look at two sides.
okay.
Okay, one side is the money supply.
Hmm.
Another side is the goods and services. Mm.
Okay.
If money supplies increase more than the total goods and services, then
Hmm.
you will have inflation. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the definition. Inflation only has this definition. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So you don't need to care about whatever business get money or that. None of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, none of them. Just this simple. Mm. Money
Okay.
supply more than the total product and services in the market. Yeah, just this
Hmm.
simple. Mm.
Okay. Yep.
Mm. So, mm, so why deflation occurred?
So it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Money supply isn't enough
Mm.
uh for for the market right now.
Because people don't spend money. So the money supply in the market reduced.
Mm.
But the product and services still there. Business still want to sell their product. They won't keep their product and services. But for some certain goods, for example, like the hand sanitizer and the mask,
Yep.
we have a serious inflation, right? We actually have hyperinflation on this good.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Why? Because people want to keep the product. So the mask and hand sanitizer supply in the market reduce. And even though the supply not reduced, and it's also not enough for the demand, because the demand for these two goods is too strong,
Yep.
and the supply shrinks. Yeah, the supply shrinks again. Yeah, the supply shrinks even because many people want to buy want to buy this stock, and they want to keep. And seller also don't want to sell because they expect they can sell even higher price in future. So they also keep the stock. So initially the demand is 1,000, the supply is 500, but seller want to keep. So the seller won't sell all the 500. They'll only sell, let's say, 100. Okay, so you need to use the 100 goods to cope with the 1,000 demand. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So the price, of course, would rise 10 times in politically, right?
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So that's the reason why inflation happens, because the money supply uh more than the total goods and services supply in the market. And inflation is a macroeconomic term. It's a macroeconomic term. And the
Yep.
microeconomic term of this quote unquote inflation is purchasing power.
Mm.
Mm, mm.
Yep.
And on individual level, the inflation decreased, but the purchasing power actually reduced. Because people need to spend a lot of money to buy the mask, which initially they don't need to spend on it. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
So, and also, their salary get cut. Many business, they cut like 25%, even 50% of their staff salary.
Yep.
So that's why they no money to spend. So if they don't spend money, if they save money, the money supply uh, in the market, or we say the money circulation in the market will be reduced. So business will find it hard to sell their product.
Yep.
Because consumer don't want to consumer want to save money rather than buy product.
Yeah. We postpone our spending, right, for some products.
Yeah. So this is why inflation happen, and also this is why deflation happen. It's just simple. Just look at the money supply and look at the total product and service supply.
Yep.
And we look at each one. For example, money supply. government can do something on the money supply. Inside the money supply also have the demand and supply. And inside the product and service also have is demand and supply.
Yep.
For example, money supply and the goods and services supply. If we measure these two things, we actually measure the macroeconomic level inflation. But if we look at the product services, we just look at the product services inside. We can measure purchasing. We can measure the purchasing power of an individual. Because in the product and services, it also has its demand and service. Like the mass. So for the money supply part, it also has demand and service. For example, if U.S. government they increase the interest rate, Malaysia didn't increase the interest rate, so the money supply will flow into U.S. from Malaysia. For example, those of foreign investment and also maybe some domestic investor and foreign investor, they rather to convert their money from Malaysian ringgit into the
US dollar.
And save some money into the bank or buy some bonds. Yeah, because the interest rate is higher. So inside the money supply, they will also have demand and supply, which control the money supply circulation. Inside the product and service, there is also the demand and service which can control the demand and service of the product and service circulation. And if we combine together, we can look at the macro term. We can look the thing on the macro term. This is more complicated. Yeah, because one side can, for example, the money supply can increase. And another side, the product and services effect maybe is unknown. Because some of the goods supply increase, some of the goods supply decrease. Yeah. So we have to use a CPI. We cannot use a particular product or particular service to represent the whole product and service market. We need to use a CPI. So CPI includes a lot of things. Okay, so you get it clearer?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. So just what's the question just now?
Yeah, my question is deflation. Will we go into deflation?
Yeah, look your eyes to see. Are we in a deflation environment? Are we in a deflationary environment?
Actually, I think yeah, we are on the way to deflation.
Yeah, actually we are not on the way. Actually we are not on the way. We actually are inside the deflationary environment already.
Oh, already. Yeah, because I find something from the internet, and they say that the domino effects of the deflation start from lower profit, and then lower
Mm-hmm.
profit cause bankrupt business, and
Mm-hmm.
then these bankrupt businesses cause layoff of the employee,
Mm-hmm.
and then this cause high unemployment, and then um, um, because of high unemployment, the people that get employed may get some cut in income or salary, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, they will have lower demand for goods and services.
Mm.
Yep, and then this cycle keep repeating and
Mm.
repeat again to lower profit, bankruptcy,
Mm.
layoff.
Mm. It's not necessary have to start with the low profit. Mm.
Oh,
You can start with the low demand.
yep.
Low demand of goods and services also can cause low profit of business.
Yep.
And also, mm, uh, mm, this is not necessary have to start with something. We can start with many things. For example, we can start with the exit investment. Mm. Do you know what is exit investment?
Exist? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Current?
No. The exit. Exit. I mean the over investment.
Oh, okay.
Mm. Yeah, over investment. Do you know what's over investment?
No.
Mm. Okay, over investment is very simple.
Mm,
Mm. If you think, mm, okay, for example, mm, uh, yeah, uh, I just give a simple example.
mm,
Mm. And this, this this example may not be true. Okay, yeah, I just give an example. Okay,
okay.
for example, government is support mm, the electricity car. Yeah, the electric car. Mm,
Mm,
mm, because the government mm, mm, want want us to go into a greener environment.
mm,
So the first thing we can do is actually switch from those mm, uh, the petrol car,
mm.
petrol and diesel car to electric car like the
Yep.
Tesla.
Yep.
Mm. So government will subsidize this firm which uh, which specialize which specializing in this industry of building this electric car.
Mm,
Mm. And yeah, because the money in the market is too huge. Mm. And the government uh, the, the government lower the barrier of borrowing for this mm, uh, for this electric car company. So
mm,
that means this electric car company can borrow money very easily from banks.
mm,
Mm. So mm, uh, many capitalists many capitalists mm, they will try to borrow money from banks and do the investment in this. They also will get government subsidies. Mm.
mm.
And as more capitalists come into this market,
Yep.
and this market is under overinvestment. Mm.
Mm,
Because you see, in US, many companies want to build their own electric car. But yeah, what electric car company you know? Mm. Yeah, in the world or in the US?
Yeah, I only know Tesla.
Yeah, you only know Tesla.
Yep.
Mm. And what else? What else for? Yeah. What is the second? No, right? Mm.
Mm.
We only remember the first. Mm.
Yep.
And so, mm, and especially mm, for this kind of technology and this kind of business have network effect. Mm.
Mm.
For example, and I can give you another example. What's the social media company in the world? What's the social media company in the world? Can you name few? Okay, for
Face,
example, Facebook.
Facebook,
Mm, mm,
Instagram,
okay,
uh, Twitter.
okay.
Uh, is TikTok counted in?
Uh, no. Yeah, because this is a short video platform. This is not a social media platform.
Mm. Yep. And then
Yeah,
uh
okay.
yeah.
Uh, we will find very hard to 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 name the rest. Mm.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, the first few we can remember, we know because we are using their product. Mm.
Mm.
And they have network effect. If you have Facebook, why you need another banana?
Mm.
mm.
Yep.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So if you have Tesla car, why you need another like banana car? Yeah, you don't need. Mm.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So the over investment is like this. Mm. If inside the market, mm, mm, the company can uh can okay. Let's say inside the company, sorry, inside the industry, if there is one if there is 100 company inside the industry,
Mm.
all of the 100 company can earn money. Mm.
Okay.
And but mm, if the 100 companies reduce to 50 company inside the industry,
Mm.
so the demand still remain unchanged. The
Yep.
demand of the product and service still remain unchanged, but the supply of the product and goods of the goods and service will reduce
Reduce.
because
Yep.
there is only 50 company can produce the product and service. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So the price will increase and the
Yep.
company can earn a lot of money.
Mm.
And in another case, if inside the industry there are 200 companies,
Okay.
so it will cause low profit because the industry will become more competitive.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. So the only investment is very simple. Mm. Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, so the concept of over investment is something like um
It
mm,
can cause the market become competitive. Mm.
oh, so is
And
the number of companies in that particular industry.
not really, but what we talk is actually uh, okay. If you only have one company inside the
Mm.
industry,
Yep.
you also can do over investment.
Um.
Okay, go back to the instant noodle
Mm.
example.
Mm.
Yeah, look at the instant noodle.
Yep.
Yeah, the the number of mm, the number of products is so huge. Mm. and most of the product will eventually go expire. It's going to expire. And many people don't have the chance to eat them before they become expired. You get what I mean?
Yep.
So they actually over investment. They actually over invest on the machinery. They don't need to produce so much product. So they don't need to invest so many equipment and machinery to produce that product. So it's also one of the over investment.
Yep.
So the over investment will affect the product and service, the goods and services supply.
Yep. Over investment.
So okay. In conclusion, it doesn't require to have inflation with starting with a specific
Reason.
reason, and we can say the phenomena.
Yeah.
Because they are interrelationship. They are linked.
Yep.
Okay. So please continue sharing.
Yep. So for Malaysia, what we do now is to keep the interest rate low, and then government also help to talk with the unemployment issues. I think it's the layoff issues. They subsidize the company so that company can still keep their employee, and then and still maintain, if possible, maintain the salary of their employee.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but doing so, this actually increase the subsidy increase the government debt, right?
Yeah. The because this come from the budget has higher probability will go into deficit.
Yep. So it means that if this pandemic still have to last long, then maybe Malaysia's may not be able to sustain by keep giving this subsidy, and then we will go into deflation.
They can keep giving the money. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the money can finance from central bank. For example, the Malaysia government, they submit their annual budget to the central bank, and because the budget is deficit, and the Malaysia government don't have enough money to run their budget, so they ask the central bank to borrow, to lend them money to run the budget. So they can, I remember I told you before. Government can subsidize. Okay, government can issue the bond, and central bank can buy the government bond.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then increase the money supply, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
What's your question just now?
Yeah, the concern is the debt level of the government.
Mm,
Now
mm,
it's
mm,
already 50 more than 50%.
mm. They can keep increasing. Mm. They can
Yeah,
always keep increasing.
yeah, but it seems
Uh,
like if
this
it increased to a level, it is quite hard to lower it down, right?
yeah, but for now it's also very hard to reduce. Mm.
Mm. Yep.
They 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 can always keep increasing, but they have to mm, not there. It's us. Yeah, we yeah all of us have to suffer the risk. Mm.
Mm. Yep.
mm. Yeah. So that's all for the negative interest rate topic review.
Yep. And also for the topic of inflation, I actually want to talk about deflation, which I have already talked about.
Mm. Okay.
Mm.
Actually, my topic review is also same as you. The
Oh,
negative inflation and also the negative interest rate and inflation.
inflation. Okay.
And when we talk about negative interest rate, mm, actually, theoretically, it's not commercial bank turns the interest rate from positive to negative. Mm,
It's the central bank, right?
yeah, it's actually central bank that set the overnight. They set the overnight interest rate uh, as negative.
Mm.
So that means commercial bank, if they need to put money, and central bank, sorry, commercial bank, they have to put money in central bank because of the bank reserve, because of
Yep.
the bank reserve rate. Mm. So the central bank, when central bank put money into the central bank reserve,
Mm.
central bank account, mm, mm, they 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 won't mm, uh, they are no longer can get the interest. They'll get a charge. The charge is means the negative interest rate.
Yep.
Mm, mm. So mm, the government still can choose to give us our consumer a positive interest rate, a positive saving interest rate. Mm,
Mm.
mm. Uh, but it's up to commercial bank. Yeah, the commercial bank is also the private company. They also
Yep.
want to earn money.
Mm.
If the negative interest rate mm, increase to a certain level, then the commercial bank have no choice. They also have to charge the negative interest rate to us.
Mm.
So mm, some people say negative interest rate is just mm, it's just mm, the concept, the tools, or we say the phenomena. The
Mm.
negative interest is just a phenomena between central bank and commercial bank. It's not true, of course, because when it just start, this is just because commercial bank
Mm.
and central bank. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, this is also same as uh, other monetary policy. Mm. For example, the money supply. The central bank also use the commercial bank to control the money supply, and the
Mm.
money supply eventually will flow to the market, will flow
Mm.
to our consumer level.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. The reserve, the reserve requirement, right? They
Mm.
can, they can do something on that.
Mm. So we cannot say it's just a phenomena between the central bank and commercial bank. So it would affect us. Yeah, it did affect us. Yeah, it will affect us in future.
Yep.
Yeah. So on broad level, we talk about negative interest rate, and we always refer to we save money into commercial bank. We will get negative. We will get negative interest rate. I think it's okay. Yeah. When we talk about negative interest rate, it's okay to mention it. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll go into too detail, and you'll go into too theoretical. Yeah, into the theoretical, and you just mentioned about the central bank and also the commercial bank. You can't measure the consequence.
Yep.
And okay, and another for the interest rate policy, for the monetary policy, we had three. One is interest rate policy, another is money supply, another is money printing. We can also say the QE, the quantitative easy, and the third is the bank reserve rate. These three is the the monetary policy. And bank reserve rate, we cannot keep at zero. We cannot keep like the interest rate turn into negative, because we have one art. We have one art, and the art is actually the art is actually used to govern the commercial bank.
Okay.
And not allow them to borrow too much money. If they borrow too much money and keep the bank reserve rate too low, and you have higher risk to get the bailout.
Yep.
Okay, and actually the art is it's actually global art. Yeah, it's actually global art, and every I'm not sure, but it's a global art. I mean, every commercial bank in every country, they have to keep the bank reserve rate, and central bank in every country cannot say they want to keep 0% bank reserve rate. You cannot say this. They have to keep some.
Yeah.
And there is one art, and this art is very famous, but I forget the name already. Yeah, I forget the name. I think it's the like the Poland agreement or something like that.
Oh.
I forgot already. But actually, we did learn in the principle of banking and finance. Yeah, and the art is actually comes after 2008 financial crisis. Yeah. And and we can yeah. One news is There's one recent news. Yeah, there's one recent news.
Okay.
The founder of Alibaba, and which is the Jack Ma.
Okay.
They share his stock on a public speaking. He share he actually suggests us to ban to ban this art. And actually he get a lot of people um, um, uh, uh, um, okay, his idea get a lot of people. Wait, his idea was rejected by a lot of people,
Oh.
and there are many people don't buy his idea because they know this the importance of this art. So okay, go back to the topic. The
Yep.
bank reserve rate cannot be like the interest rate. We cannot turn into zero, and at least we need to keep some like 5% or
Yep.
2%.
Yep. Cannot go too risky, right?
Yeah, and reserve. If we reduce the bank reserve rate, we can increase the money supply.
Yep. They can lend more, right? The bank.
And also, if we reduce the interest rate, if we reduce the interest rate, people can also borrow more.
Yep.
Yeah, people can also borrow more because their financial burden reduce. And if we keep printing the money, if we keep do the QE, it will also increase the money supply. Yeah.
Yep.
So both of these three things can increase the money supply. So when we talk about the monetary policy, we actually just talk about the demand and supply of the money of money. Yeah.
Yep.
And you have three tools to control the money supply, and yeah, we can increase the money supply. We can decrease the money supply.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what the monetary policy do.
Yes.
And if we print more money, and the marketable bond, I mean, those bonds can be traded in secondary market, in the market. Yeah.
Yep.
So those bonds, the price will rise. And but the interest rate is fixed. So for example, the coupon rate, we call it coupon rate. The coupon rate remain unchanged. The real effective interest rate will reduce because the price of bonds have reduced.
Yep.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, it is reflected on its price, right? Because the rate cannot be changed.
Okay. I give you an example. If the coupon rate of the bond is 4%, and and government will return the bond in 10 years time.
Okay.
They borrow you 100. Yeah, let's say they borrow you they borrow 100 from you, and government say they'll pay you back 100 in 10 years time.
Yep.
So they borrow 100 from you, they also will pay you back 100.
Yes.
And they will give you 4% interest every year.
Yep.
Or actually, the government can do this. I will give you the 4% interest rate. The interest at the end of the 10 years. So actually that means, okay, if we just talk about 1 year, the government borrow you 100 and they will pay you back 104.
Yep, it's the same.
In the end of the first year. Yeah. So the price of the bond. What do you think the market price of the bond?
Okay. With the bond. Initially the price of the bond is 100, right?
Okay. Then after half years, what's the price?
After half years, because okay. How about the interest? The government will give us 104 at the end of the of every year. No. Yeah, every year, right?
Yeah.
So so now your question is, after 5 years, what about the price?
We just talk about the first year. Yeah, we just talk about the first year. And after half year, so that means after 6 months. After 6 months, what's the price?
After 6 months, because it is close to the time that you get the interest money. So it will be a little bit higher. So that the people will sell to you.
Yeah.
They want to earn something.
Yeah. Theoretically, it will become what is the price theoretically?
The price
actually should be
102.
Yeah, actually should be 102, right? Yeah, because you half year has passed. Yeah. So yeah. And if after half year, okay, then okay, theoretically the price should be 102. But because of the money supply increase,
okay,
and there are too much money in the market. So if you put into if you put your money under your bed, you can't gain interest, right?
Yep.
And if you put money into the bank, you also sometimes you also can't gain the interest.
It is low, right? The interest rate.
And you can put into the stock market, but it's risky. Some people.
Yep.
So they try to put into the money market, or the bond. They use their money to buy bonds.
Yeah.
So the bond price will rise.
Yes.
So for example, the bond price rise from 102 to 103. So actually the effective interest rate is reduced, right?
Yep.
Because you buy in at 102, but you only gain the 2%. And so, 1%. Yeah, you only gain 1%. Yeah. So it will also reduce the effective market interest rate of the bond. Yeah. but it is about the market. If you go to the bank, you want to borrow money.
Yep.
You 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 still have to mm, follow the interest rate which set up by the central bank.
Yep.
Mm. If the central bank set the interest rate very high, and of course the market interest rate of bond is very low, but but if the government didn't reduce the overnight interest rate, you mm, mm, yeah reduce the borrowing interest rate, the BLR, the learning interest rate. I forget it's BLR or something like that. Yeah, I think it's bank learning rate, like that.
Okay. Yep.
And you have something like the repo. I think it's repo plus 1 or 2 plus plus minus the percentage, and it's become the final rate of commercial bank lend to you. And because it is too technical, these two technical terms we just refer to the bank lending rate. So
Okay. Yep.
central bank will set a bank lending rate. For example, the central bank set 2% lending rate, and commercial bank can use the bank lending rate as a refer to borrow out money. For example, 2%, they can borrow money from central bank, at 2% rate. Yeah, and so that they will prefer to add some margin.
Yep. To earn something.
So they can earn some money. They can pay their salary to their employee. They can pay the renter. So let's say they plus let's say 1.5%. So the final interest rate to you is 3.5%.
Yep.
And maybe you say, yeah, my credit worthiness is very high. Yeah. So then the bank say, so that we can reduce the interest rate for you, reduce from 3.5% to 3.2%. Yeah, and this is the final rate to you. Yeah. So you say, okay, yeah, I will learn this rate. So we sign in the agreement.
Yeah, we can also find that usually we can get different interest rate
between
from
the
different
commercial
bank, right?
Yeah.
This is also quite competitive.
Yeah. So when we talk about the reduce the interest rate, we are not talking about the bond interest rate because they are different things.
Yep.
The bond interest rate is actually determined by the market. Yeah. And the overnight interest rate and also the bank lending rate is actually determined by the central bank. We can do nothing on that.
Yep.
So they are different things. Yeah, they are different things. Don't mix them together, and you'll have you'll get a confusion.
Yep.
Okay, and this is about the negative interest rate. And there's another topic I want to review is inflation. And I still remember you talk about the medical fee.
Yep.
In our Malaysia, in Malaysia, medical fee is not a problem because government will subsidize our medical costs if we go to the government hospital.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, then I have a question to you. Then why you still want to buy insurance?
Yep. Even though we have the choice to go to the government hospital, and I remember that you also mentioned on that day, we need to wait, right? We need to queue. Yep. So yeah, and then if we go to private hospital, then maybe we can get the treatment faster and don't have to queue and wait for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means we still cannot completely exclude the medical fee out of our purchasing power or out of our budget.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the purchasing power is on individual, right? Different people will have different cost of living and purchasing power.
Yeah. Yeah. And we still buy the insurance. So that means actually we know even we have the government hospital, but we cannot share we can get the service.
Yep. Yep.
So the rising price of the medical fee also affect our purchasing power. We cannot totally exclude this out of our consideration. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is one thing. And also something like the education. I think many countries will also face the similar problem. Government subsidize something. For example, government subsidize the food. For example, subsidize the flour and subsidize the rice. Subsidize the soya bean and those food.
Yep.
Those essential services. Okay, but one day the government can take out, or maybe there are some quantity restriction, or maybe there are a certain quantity, and if you can't get the product earlier, and if you can't get the product earlier than people, so you cannot get the price. This is something like the flash sale. There's a quantity, there's a quota. If you go late, if you went late, then you won't get the discount. So you also cannot consider this. You cannot take this into consideration of your purchasing power. Because you can't get the best price in all times.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the first thing. And the second thing, we have one critical question, which is the product and services is so abundant. Okay? And if we look at the supermarket, if we look at the mini market, the product and services is so abundant. Why some of the product and service price still increase?
Oh, do you mean the whole industry or individual company?
Actually, for some food, we experience the overall increasement. I mean, the industrial increase, the increase of price. And you also claim that some of the food get expensive, right?
Yep.
So I think it's for some goods, this is an industrial level. Yeah, this is not a company level. And I give you an answer. It's because of rental cost.
Yep.
And just now you also talk about the low profit. Yeah, they are linked together. Yeah, they can't survive. The rental cost is too high, so they have to increase their price. Otherwise, they can't. Yeah, of course, reduce the price. You can increase your competitive. But if you can't, yeah, in this case, if you suffer a loss, if you don't increase the price, you're totally out of the market.
Cannot survive low cost for a long term, right?
Yeah, it's not about the competitive. It's not about the market competitiveness problem. Yeah, it is about survive or not survive problem. And every company face the same problem, so they rise the price. Otherwise, they can't survive. So they have the trade-off. They will consider this. Of course, market competitiveness is very important, but if we cannot survive, yeah, the market competitiveness is just bullshit. And okay, this is the rental cost. And actually, not rental cost. It's also about the material cost. Material cost also will increase. And why the material cost will increase? Because their supplier rental cost increase. You get what I mean? Yeah. So why your supplier the material price that sell to you increase is because of the rental cost. And why they have to increase the material price that sell to you is because they also cannot survive. So it's very clear. And okay, you see, the price increase from the top tier until the last tier. Okay. Do you know? In the you study business, right? And you, I think you have studied about the supply chain management. The SCM, and we have the upstream chain, and we also have the downstream chain. And for example, like the wholesaler and the retailer, and also the manufacturer. And the price of the product of the manufacturer can give you is lower price. Yeah, it's lower price than the retail store can give you, right? And normally the margin can up to like 30% or 40%, even higher. Because they need to cover their rental costs and their employee salary. And we know if the layer increase, for example, they're getting more distributor and getting more retailer. I mean, getting more distributor and getting more wholesaler. And I mean, the chain is longer. The price of the final product will be higher, right? And this is the thing we study in business. So we will have some strategy for those manufacturers sell the product directly to the consumer. We studied before. We studied it before, and we link about the marketing and how this manufacturer to market their product. And this is about the business. And we talk about economics. And it also makes sense. If the layer increase, from initially the extractor For example, the meaning, the natural resources as creator. For example, if you want to build a pencil, so you have to cut the tree. And yeah, the business who cut the tree and the business process and assemble the wood. And it will have many layers. You have many company doing this. So every company, their cost of running the business have increased. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
The cost of running their business have increased, mainly because of rental costs. Okay. And so that means the price to our final product can be very high. But because of the demand and supply of the goods, is mismatched. Yeah, consumer don't demand so much product, but the supply of product is so huge. But even though with that force, with that deflationary force, our price still increase. Yeah, you get what I mean? Do you know why it occurred?
Yeah, because of the rental cost, right?
Okay, it's actually because of over investment. Because the supply is too much. Yeah, the supply is too much, and all of the company cannot earn money in the industry. If some of the company go bankrupt, and the rest of the company no need to increase the price, and they can survive.
Yep.
So this is the consequence of over investment. And over investment can cause inflation. Okay. Yeah. Even though just now we say the money supply more than the product and service. Okay. So will cause inflation. But now, even though the product and services, the quantity of product and services increase, it will also cause the rising of price. Because of the this is not a macro level inflation. Okay, it's not a macro level inflation. This is a industrial level, or we can say this is a company level inflation. Okay, yeah, it's not the same inflation. Yeah, it's not the same inflation. And on industrial level, they're forced to raise the price because they cannot cover their costs. Okay, and this is the second, and the third one. I would like to talk about the gold. And I told you before, if we go into a war of if nobody trusts one country currency, and if you hold gold, you want to export the gold to outside to convert the gold to another foreign currency, and you may face difficult to do that. Yeah, because the country custom will tax you, tax the gold you have. And if you go into a war, and maybe some gangster will ask you to hand out to hand on to say
Yep,
Yeah,
to hand
yeah,
in the gold, right?
to hand in all the gold you have. Mm,
Mm.
yeah. And actually we have the real mm, case. Yeah, we have the real example. This is
Oh,
in Venezuela. Do you know
okay.
the country Venezuela?
Mm. Yeah, heard before.
Mm. Venezuela is a country that has the biggest oil reserve. Mm.
Mm.
But Venezuela experienced hyperinflation,
Okay.
even though they have the biggest oil reserve in their country. Mm.
Mm.
Their oil price is mm, okay. If you convert their currency to our currency, their oil price is 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 can consider as free. Yeah, can consider as free. Mm.
Free? What do you mean? The
Okay,
oil price is very low?
yeah, the oil price is very very low. Okay, the
Oh.
oil price is something like 1 or 5. I forgot already, but I think it is a single digit. It's a
Mm.
single digit of Venezuela dollar. Mm, okay,
Mm.
and how much one Malaysian ringgit? Mm, mm, okay, uh, mm, how much Venezuela dollar can can be converted by one Malaysian ringgit? This is, I mean, I think it's more than thousand or more than 10,000 like that. Yeah, I forgot
Okay.
already. But it's a very high amount.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a very huge amount.
Mm.
So consider the commission, consider consider the commercial rate. Okay, consider the commercial rate.
Mm.
The thing is something like free. Mm. But they cannot export the oil. Yeah. Mm. So the oil in their country is the cheapest good. Mm. The oil cheaper than the food, cheaper
Mm.
than our everything. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm. And this country face the hyperinflation because mm, they print too much money.
Mm.
Mm. One side is they print too much money, and the another side is mm, mm, people people lose confidence on their currency,
Mm.
and also lose the government. Yeah, lose the confidence of the government. Mm.
Mm.
And inside the country, the government restrict the people in Venezuela.
Mm.
So if you are a tourist, okay,
Mm.
you go into the Venezuela,
Yep.
the custom will hold you, will ask you to hand in all your foreign currency or to convert all your foreign currency into Venezuela
Mm.
before you step in to their country.
Mm.
Oh, mm, yeah, they ask you to do that, and inside the country, no one, mm, no one can get the US dollar and can get the gold. Mm.
Mm.
This I mean in legal way, in legal channel.
Mm.
So
Yep.
the government restrict them. The government restrict the people in the country to get the gold and get the foreign currency. Mm.
Mm.
So, mm, but if uh, but you can buy gold. You also can buy. Yeah, you also can buy quote unquote buy the foreign currency in Venezuela. Mm.
Mm.
In in the unofficial channel. Yeah, this is actually the illegal mm, illegal channel. You can
Mm.
buy them, but you have problem. Mm. And when you walk on the street and there's a motor, okay, and two people come down and put the gun on your head. They ask you to pass all your foreign currency and also all your gold you have in your pocket and on yeah I mean that you have currently. They ask you to, and also they can, if they know you have gold, you are the person who has gold. If they know that, they'll ask you to bring them go to your house and 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 hand in all the gold you have. Mm, yeah. And in Venezuela, mm, gun is the asset, you know. Mm. If you hold gun, you have power. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's quite confusing. The person that can put a gun on your head and ask you give out the money, give out the gold. So who are these people? Are they
gangster,
gangster or
gang,
not the government official?
yeah, and some of the soldier, some of the soldier which previously soldier, they also they also do this kind of thing. Mm, yeah,
Oh.
and Venezuela government find hard to control this. Yeah, find
So
hard
it
to
means
control.
that the whole society is in a chaos,
Yeah, yeah,
has a
the whole
lot of
society,
problems.
the whole society in a chaos. Mm,
Oh my God.
mm. So like in this country, yeah, sure you can hold the goal, but
Mm.
you risk, but take your own risk to own the goal. Mm.
But I believe that the gold in that price will also be higher because
Yeah,
of the scarcity, right?
yeah.
Mm.
Uh, but you don't dare to spend, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, people can see you are spending the goal.
Mm.
Yeah, you just risk yourself.
Yep.
If you own something that you cannot spend, then it's useless, right?
Unless you
Mm.
can move into another country and then sell the gold.
But you can't. Yeah, but
Yep.
okay. So this is my shameful thing. Do you have anything want to share or want to mm, discuss?
Um, yeah, I actually got one.
Okay.
I just cut short. It's about the towing industry, the car towing industry.
Okay.
And actually, this recent year in Malaysia and especially in some states like Kuala Lumpur, they actually find hard um, to survive for those tow truck driver because the money paid by the insurance is too low. So actually, um, they go out to the street and have a strike, 罢工.
Oh.
Yeah, so to demand uh, and negotiate with the insurance company to
Mm,
increase the price of these services.
mm,
Yep. So um, yeah, actually we can find that uh, if all of the seller they
mm,
can use the something like those trade union
mm-hmm,
to form the price and then they can actually earn more
mm,
if they fix the price, fix the lowest price, don't go below the lowest price.
mm.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, these are my sharings.
Okay, so that's all for our today's conversation. How did you feel? Did you enjoy the conversation? Did you learn something? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And sometimes you may include one or two critical thinking questions in the comments. I know it's very hard to answer for most of the people. If you have quote unquote critical answers for these critical questions, please share it with us. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistakes that we made, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.